My quest has come to an end. What have you done?
Hello everyone, we'll be getting into two of my favorite episodes today, Jack and the Warrior Woman, along with Jack and the Three Blind Archers. Both of these episodes have special places that have been locked in my mind since childhood for two very different reasons. Of course, I will get into it as we go, so let's get started. We begin with Jack traveling through an Indian type of city and going into a shop to meet an elderly oracle. And we get a bit of a funny gag of the elder thinking that Jack was here for a rug to buy. But he gets right to helping Jack once he sees he has the signature of the Woolies from the last review. The elder begins to perform a ritual to help Jack find a way back home, and tells him what he seeks is a jewel hidden in a structure, with only one of pure heart being able to claim it. Then he begins to see a great evil as well in the vision, but they get interrupted by Aku's minions bursting in and attacking Jack. They are saved by a woman named Ikra, and while Jack is getting his sword, the elder tries to warn him about something, but he doesn't listen.
The evil!
Yes, I know.
No, you don't understand!
These hoes ain't loyal.
They eventually escape the city and camp for the night. She tells Jack that she is searching for the jewel as well, because it may grant her the power to free her father from Aku. So seeing that their goals align, they team up together to find the sacred jewel. And the music here is just great. We get a montage of them traveling through the desert encountering monsters, and they start looking at each other in some type of way.
Yeah, boy.
They meet some rich guy and he invites them to dinner, with them seeing some dancers and getting some man service. They find an oasis and the jewel inside, with Jack being happy his journey is about to come to an end.
The jewel.
My time on this miserable Aku-infested land will finally be over.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
The jewel then judges them not to be pure of heart, so they must fight its guardian, with Ikra showing that she has some kind of strange abilities.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
She defeats the guardian and plucks out the gem, and then she destroys it, leaving Jack confused.
My quest has come to an end. What have you done?
Then we hear her laughing as it slowly fades into a laugh we all know, where Ikra reveals herself to be Aku. And then Aku has the nerve to then taunt him about it, basically calling him a simp.
Oh, it's Mr. MVP! Simp!
And he once again runs from Jack, leaving him defeated and vowing again to vanquish him one day. Alright, first voice actor to start with is Danny Mann, who played the Elder. The only characters I know him for playing is a one-shot character, Amorphous, from Danny Phantom, and a few minor characters from Rugrats. The Elder was pretty funny, and I like that they gave us a hint about Ikra with him telling Jack that he doesn't understand the warning he gave him. And then the real star of the episode, Ikra, who is played by Jennifer Martin, who has also played Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls, so no wonder I liked her voice so much, and she has played various women in Johnny Bravo. Now with Ikra's design, what would you guys say it is? Because I would say goth, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that it awakened something in me as a kid. I think it was one of the first times as a kid that I saw a strong woman who kept up with the male hero. And I think it was also the first time I was actually interested in romance as a child, liking seeing how well they got along with each other. All I know is that she may have been the genesis of the type of woman I like that was just further enforced by other series as I grew up. And I am sure it might have been the same thing for other people with some of the other things she does. But we come to find out that this was all a trick by Aku. And it is pretty obvious seeing it now as an adult with her having the same green, red, and black color scheme as Aku, but my 5-year-old brain did not clock that until the reveal. And then we have his plan in general, which was actually pretty smart with sending his minions in, and then he comes in to save Jack, helping him to escape. Then his fake story about the father actually being kinda close to another character in a future episode. And then him lamenting that he won't be able to find the Elder again so he can find the jewel he saw in his dream, prompting Jack to explain the entire vision to him. And then his final deception was turning himself into a woman, because Jack, being from such a long time ago, would let his guard down in front of one, and then slowly seducing him as well, looking like she is attracted to him. And I gotta say, he didn't pick a half-bad female body either. And another cool detail is that as they go through the desert, all the creatures attack Ikra, probably sensing her evilness. And he could have let Jack die in that quicksand, but I'm sure Jack would have gotten out of it on his own somehow. Then, once they got the jewel, Aku was surprised because the one thing Jack did not mention in his explanation was that only ones pure of heart could use the jewel. And then, fast forwarding to him defeating the Guardian, he breaks the jewel and reveals himself, taunting Jack and running away as he always does. And I feel like there has to be at least one fanfic out there about this whole episode, but I am not going to check. Also, I want to say great voice acting on Phil LaMarr with Jack's scream of frustration. I really felt it. But yeah, this was a episode I loved rewatching as a kid. And I have to say the same thing about the next episode as well, so let's go get into that one. We start the episode with quiet ambient noises of the forest, which is soon interrupted by an army of robot Vikings marching their way through it. And we stay on them for a while, seeing all of their weapons and vehicles. And I love the touch of blending in the sound of their marching with the music. I can't remember if I have ever seen a series do that before. They stop at a tower with what I am guessing is their creator, then commanding them to charge. As they do, we see an endless wave of arrows fire from the top of it, completely destroying the army.
Oh, damn.
Ow! I got this!
Just a flesh wound.
We then just see a wasteland covered in robotic husks of an army.
I'm starting to get some feelings.
With just 3 archers perched at the top. As we transition into the commander retelling this story, Jack overhears it and asks him to confirm that they are passing the same island now, and that the prize for taking that tower is the ability for a well at the top, granting anyone a single wish. Of course, Jack, hearing this, departs to the island, hoping it will be a way for him to get back home. He makes his way there, finding the tower, and I just have to say, the music is so unique to this episode. He steps forward and they fire a few warning shots at him, but once he takes another step, they fully attack him, getting him into a predicament very quickly. With him being pinned to a tree, he is able to unsheath his sword with his thumb, blocking the arrow, which was such a cool thing for me to see as a child. He tries to blind them by reflecting the sun into their eyes, but they still fire on him just fine. So he does another test and realizes that they react not on sight, but on sound, and gets a good look at them, seeing that they are all blind as well. So he goes to meditate, and we get a flashback to when he was trained by monks, with him seeing that he can't just rely on his sight, and must fight on the blind archer's level by focusing on his other senses. And after centering himself, he puts a blindfold on and charges the tower, being able to get to the base of it. And I know I already talked about it, but just listen to this music again, my goodness. Look, I am going to take any chance I get to glaze this show. I just love it that much. Jack is then finally able to get on top of the tower and positions himself in a way where they all fire on each other, defeating them. Once they are free, they warn Jack that the well twisted their own wish to be for its benefit. So hearing this, Jack sees what he has to do. Either seeing that his wish cannot be granted because the well would twist it in some way, or that it would grant his wish, but would just enslave others to its will in the future, he decides to destroy it, making sure no one else can be harmed by it, walking off again to continue his journey. And I always had the headcanon that this well was some kind of portion of Aku, since it seems very similar, being a black swirling, seemingly sentient liquid. And what it did to the warriors, I could see Aku definitely doing. So Kevin Michael Richardson is back again as the well's voice and one of the warriors. Then Joe Alesky voiced the general and one of the other warriors. He has also played Grandpa Lou from Rugrats and Duck Dodgers from Duck Dodgers. I can't imagine how defeated this general must have felt, bringing hundreds of robot soldiers and they all get destroyed in minutes. And now he's just a deckhand on a ship. Getting into a lesson to take away from this episode, I would say it would be that sometimes to overcome an obstacle, you have to look at it from another angle. With Jack not getting anywhere with a conventional approach and had to step back and take a breather. Searching through all the knowledge he has, and once he finds another way of approaching things, he doesn't just dive into it, he makes sure he is ready by centering himself and focusing on his surroundings, making sure he is hearing as good as it will get. Now, looking at the archers, I love their simplistic design being all black and their eyes being pure white to get across their blindness. And I would think they are based off of jackals or wolves, with how they have snouts and the way their ears are perked up, constantly moving around to pick up on any sound. And again, there were long stretches of no dialogue here, with the most prominent part to me being when Jack is just focusing on all the noises of the forest. And this is the most prominent episode that I remember as a kid that kept me engaged without any action or dialogue happening on screen. I would honestly love to know what you guys thought of this one. So we got through 2 of my childhood favorites today, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, it really helps me out. And if you want to see my other Samurai Jack reviews, the playlist should be on screen now. And I think that's about it, so I guess I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.